Let's now go ahead and write our first line of blogs. Before we do that, let's understand how do we start by writing a compelling headline for our blogs. So there are multiple type of headlines that we can see. One is called the how-to headlines, which basically offers a solution or guidance, like how to repair a machine, how to boost your productivity, etc., etc., etc. So, how-to headlines are what? Where you're being educational. You're just giving people a technique of how to do X, Y, Z stuff. In fact, this is the most popular headline technique as compared to anybody else. Next, what we call listicles, wherein today people love listicles because it's a short, concise form of blogs and it's easy to register in the brain. For example, 10 ways to save money, or 10 things to do using AI tools today. Right? That's listicles. You simply present your content in list format. Next is you can do question headlines. For example, are you making these common mistakes while using AI tools? Are you making these common mistakes while parenting? Right? Those are question-based headlines. They generate curiosity among people. Then you can also have a headline about ultimate guides, like ultimate guide to using an AI tool, ultimate guide to social media marketing. Right? Then you can also go with controversial or debated headlines where you're giving controversies. You can say the great debate: should you work 9 to 5? Like recently, there was an article about Narayan Murthy saying that should we even um, there is an article about Narayan Murthy which said that should you work for 70 hours in a week? Then you can also have a curiosity driven headline wherein you create intrigue headlines such as the surprising secret behind successful entrepreneurs. Right? Or something that in the lines of news checking wherein you're capitalizing current event. You can say how AI is changing the way we do blog writing or how AI is changing the way we work at our workplaces. Right? And next is we can either do testimonials and case studies. So we can say, how XYZ company grew sales by 200%. Right? So that's your headlines. So there are different types of headlines. Headlines are the most important part because if people do not read your headlines, they'll not be able to go further. Right? So we're going to see this in detail and how to use different headlines. Now let's understand that what are the different tools for content creation. Well, there are multiple tools in the market. There's writer.me, there's ChatGPT, there is Bing, there's Google Bard. But we're going to focus on ChatGPT in this particular module, and I'm going to show you exactly now how do we do it. So, and let's now understand exactly that how do we use AI tools to write a blog for us. So when I come over here, I'm going to start off by writing so you see, before I start, I would want to get what we call as a blog outline, right? In fact, I can do anything with the chat GPT tool if I want, but currently, let's probably assume that I want to write a blog on tips to save money and I want to create a blog outline basis this topic, right? Before you write a blog, it's always better and always easier that you actually ask ChatGPT to help you with an outline. Because if something is wrong in the outline, you can correct it over there. But once you start writing it, then there'll be multiple iteration rounds that will happen, and you will not be able to produce the blog which you want to. So let's see what happens when you put this prompt together. So now you can see, it gives me a better outline. It tells me certainly here's an outline for a blog on tips to save money. Start with introduction to briefly introduce importance of saving money. Also highlight the benefits of adopting good money saving habits. Then it tells me that I should write about assessing your financial situation. So you should take a stock of, you know, your income and expenses, create a budget to track spending, identifying areas where I can cut back, and then I need to start building a savings mindset. Then I need to start building a savings mindset. which means I need to understand the value of saving both short term and long term, set realistic and achievable financial goals, embrace a frugal lifestyle, and finally some smart shopping strategies, managing debt, creating emergency funds, creating everyday expenses, saving on utilities, maximizing employee benefits, investing wisely, reassessing and adjusting myself. In conclusion, it gives me like decent outline, and it's not bad. But suppose if I now I'm more confused. I do not know what to actually write upon or what to actually do. So I can go one step before. I can also simply ask ChatGPT to you know, help me with blog topics around saving money. So now I can also use ChatGPT for brainstorming it. And see, it uses our own headline style. It's the ultimate guide of creating a budget that works for you. Frugal living, how to embrace minimalistic lifestyle to save money. Smart shopping hacks, get the best deal of your every time when you shop. Eating well on a budget, healthy and affordable meal planning, etc. 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 See, it almost gave me close to 15 headlines or 15 blog topics I can write about. Right? So that's the first step. I need to first of all get the blog topics, and next thing is I need to also get the outline. But once I've got these two, then writing a blog becomes easier because then I can combine AI with my experience, and I can basically make a much, much, much better blog as compared to it before. So now let's take one of the topics from here, and then let's now come up with some catchy headlines. So let's talk about this. Building an emergency fund and why it is crucial to start. Okay, so let's copy this, and I'm going to say I want you to come up with headlines related to the topic. How to start building an emergency fund. Now let's try to create the first step, which is the headline for our topic, which is building an emergency fund and why it's crucial and how to start. Let's see what happens. So now ChatGPT will actually come up with multiple headline options for you, right? And I can do the same thing in Google Bard or a Bing, to be very honest. So I can simply do that. I'm just going to see which is the best one for me. So let's take this one. An Emergency Fund 101, a step-by-step plan for financial resilience. Or even this is good. Saving for rainy day. Why every household needs an emergency fund. Right. So maybe I want to just read all these options over here, and from here pick up the best one that I resonate well with. But let's take for example that you are very specific about a type of headline. For example, I want to write a type of headline which is, let's take, can you give me options? So if you remember, we saw some different types of headline: how to, question based, intriguing, etc., etc., etc. Now, in case you want some brainstorming to be done by ChatGPT on a specific type of headline, you can also prompt it and you can say, "Can you give me options on how to headline format?" And then it's going to actually give you the options in how to format. See, emergency proof your finances, step by step guide of building emergency fund. Right? Actually, it understood the different types of headlines. It's now giving me all the headlines in different format as well. Right? But you see, not bad, correct? So I can actually generate anything with AI, and we can kind of brainstorm on it. But let's take this one: Emergency Fund 101, a step by step plan for financial resilience. And now, keeping this headline in mind, I am going to craft my first paragraph of my blog. So, before we do this, let's probably go back to our slides. Let's understand exactly that how do you write an intro or how do you write a first paragraph. Some of the best practice in writing the first paragraph is to start off with a hook. It's very important that we begin with a captivating statement or a question or stats that grabs people's attention. Because if the first line isn't interesting enough, people will not read further. Number two, You should also address the reader, connect with your audiences by actually understanding the needs, problems, and something that they must have never ever, I mean, thought about or they must have imagined about, but then you're just putting it back in front of them. And you should also probably give a small little preview of the content. What are they going to read in further paragraph ahead than this? So, a good intro always creates intrigue, it creates curiosity among people, and you also have to keep it very concise. It cannot be large, verbose, or boring. Most importantly, if you're writing it for a particular brand, you have to match the tone and style of that brand personality also with your articles, right? So now let's actually use AI and let's try to write some good introductions. So I'm going to go back to my tool and I'm going to say, I have chosen my topic to be Emergency Fund 101. Can you now write a compelling intro? Right. Let's see what happens. So now you see, it starts writing an intro. It says, in the unpredictable dance of life, unexpected twists and turns are certain as sunrise. From a sudden medical expense to a car breakdown to a deserted highway, financial surprises have an uncanny way of catching us off guard. But fear not, for in the realm of financial preparedness, there exists a superhero, the emergency fund. Welcome to the Emergency Fund 101, a step by step plan for financial resilience. In this guide, we will embark on the journey to unravel mysteries of financial security, unveil the power of well crafted emergency fund, and picture this with as your financial safety net, a shield against unexpected storms that life may throw you away. So it starts writing a first paragraph, but you see, it's a little long, and I don't like this such a long paragraph. So if I want, I can also concise it, I can also control it. I'm going to say, can you make this para a little shorter? Now, what it'll do, it will actually concise and give it to you, but still it is a little longer if you really ask me, right? And it also changes the word, it kind of summarizes it for you, but it's still extremely long. So now you have to be very specific with your prompts. One thing about prompt engineering is, as I told you, my prompt was a little loose. I just said make it short, but how much short? How many words? Is it like it's less than 300 words, 200 words? What am I looking at? So I want to say, can you make this paragraph a little shorter? Ideally, less than 200 words. Now it will understand this and actually give me a less than 200 word title. Okay, but I think it's less 200 words. I'm gonna say make the intro of the blog more concise and keep the text less than 200 words. So if you read a specific in the prompt, and then it kind of keeps it less than 200 words for me right now. So, and suppose now let's take, remember we saw some best practice where it said that you should actually ideally have your starting with some shocking statistics. Suppose I'm going to modify this paragraph now. I'm not happy with this. The first paragraph says life's unpredictable nature makes financial preparedness a non-negotiable. Right? But I don't like this start. I want to have a better start. So I'm going to say something like, can you make the start a little exciting? Start with a shocking fact or problems that you might face if you don't have emergency funds. So you see, picture this, a sudden job loss, unexpected medical emergency, or a car breakdown in the middle of nowhere. Life's curveballs are inevitable. Without a financial safety net, they can easily spiral into crisis. Shockingly, a staggering number of people face these challenges unprepared, teetering on the edge of financial disaster. But fear not, in Emergency 101, a step by step plan for financial resilience, we are here to unravel the life saving secrets of an emergency fund. The absence of financial cushion could mean navigating turbulent times without a compass, facing crippling debt, and sleepless nights filled with worry. So you see, now this start is a little better as compared to my previous start. So you have to guide the chatbot to give you desired output. So your output is as good as your prompt. If you give bad prompts, you get bad output. You get good prompts, you get good outputs. As simple as that. So my recommendation to you would be go ahead, go to ChatGPT and try out with a blog topic and see what do you get. And try to refine that article of yours to make it more exciting, make it more interesting for the audience, for them to read it. So go ahead, write a headline, write an intro, and see how does it really work. Thank you.